everyone doing today? You guys staying cool? Because it's hot out there. There's a lot of people in here. Thank you guys for coming to the Kanou Yoshiki FGO Localization mini stage talk. We only have not a lot of time, so I'm gonna bring the people out with me. So, joining me today are some of my localization members. So let's bring out Jeremy and Michael first. They are our editors and they check our board and stuff like that. So you guys want to introduce yourself a little bit first?
Hi, I'm Jeremy.
Hi, Jeremy.
Okay, he's at the back.
I am preceding.
Michael. Hi, I'm Michael. I'm the other localization team member. Hi, everybody.
But you all know what his actual, name is. Exactly. Yes.
He will bless your roles.
If you ask nicely.
Please! We really need that. Please!
Alright, so let's take a seat. I think you guys are sitting here and there. And of course, celebrating the 5th anniversary here and our return to Anime Expo. You guys already know who the special guest is. So why do you guys call him out? Kanou-san!
Oh, many people.
So let's welcome our special guest today, the second section director of Fate Grand Order, Mr. Kanou Yoshiki again! And the one standing behind him is our translator, Monica. And she also works in localization. So Kanou-san, would you like to introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, okay. Hi everyone, I'm Kanou Yoshiki. Some of you may know me as D-san. Right? Yeah, thank you for having me here. I'm glad I finally got the chance to meet you all.
In case you guys don't know, I mean, it feels like we're always on the screen doing Kadoya Broadcasting Station, but this is actually the first time Kanou-san's here on stage in America. Even before the panel, so you guys are the first ones that see Kanou-san on stage. Right. So this stage mainly is going to be just a conversation between us and Kanou-san. It's a rare chance for the English team, the English server team, to be able to talk to the director of the original Japanese game. So we have some questions prepared for Kanou-san, and as far as I know, he has a lot of questions prepared for us, which I'm a little bit nervous actually, to be honest. I don't know how to respond to that. So I think let's go with the questions that Kanou-san has for us. And I'm kind of like shaking right now because I don't know what's really coming. So and we want to keep this as a conversation. So if you guys have any comment, you can feel free to shout it out. I might pick it up, I might ignore you. Depending on your comment, I might tell you to get the F out of this hole. So be nice, all right? Promise, be nice. Yes, yes. All right. So Kanou-san, what's your first question?
Yeah, it's the most important thing that we all know about servant.
Yes.
So, 翻訳に苦労した servant ホーグ。
Oh.
What is the hardest noble phantasm that you had to translate? Noble phantasm.
Difficult?
Whew. If they want to chime in, feel free as well. I mean, for me, like anything that's not Japanese and English, to be honest, is very hard. Granted, we are operating the English version, not every language in the world version. So there are some noble phantasm that their original language that's obviously not Japanese or not English. We have to do like extensive amount of research to kind of realize what what the actual language is this, how do we go about that? So do you guys have any comment on that?
Yeah, Arjuna and Karna are fun for that. Finding all of the special characters that we have to use for their noble phantasms is really a treat. And especially since that's, not quite our area of expertise in those languages. So that's probably where we had some of the most trouble, I guess I would say.
For me, it was I think of Halloween Shuten because there's a certain amount of puns that go into the fact that she's a magical girl. There's Buddhist references. There's all sorts of things to figure out Maji Fender and things like that. Yeah.
ご法少女はね。
魔法少女。
そうそう、魔法少女で終点は自分のことをなんかご法
ね。
あとご法少女鬼キュア。
そう。
そこはちょっと難しい。
I see. Opposite. Fun. It's fun to translate to novel phantasm.
What are some of the most fun novel phantasms you guys had?
Demon King Nobu. So many different versions of it, and they're all
Different version.
yeah, for each ascension. So there's all the that was a lot of fun.
Right.
Jeremy?
I can't overstate how excited he was for everything to do with that.
Say, show, now go on.
For me? Well, for me, everything is fun, of course. But I mean, okay. So for me, because I'm just gonna say out here, I'm a big weeb myself. Thank you. Finally say it out loud, feels good. Yes, I'm a weeb. Hello, my name is Albert Cow.
Hello, Albert.
So for me, actually, a lot of fun is when I'm translating a lot of Japanese servants. So we get to look at, obviously not just get to look at the Japanese references to see if we want to make the differentiation of completely translating that into English because it has a reference in the back, or it's actually a skill name. If a skill name, even traditionally when you watch a lot of movie, a lot of manga out there, skill names are kind of kept in Romanized Japanese. So that was fun for us as well, especially for a lot of the Japanese servants. We want, when they use the skills, when you read the skill, it's supposed to sound cool. And that's kind of the things we keep in mind with that. And when we're translating that, it's a lot of fun to actually kind of figure it out which direction we wanted to go to and how to do that.
I see. And next.
Next, so there are more.
Yes. Servant scenarios. Different or enjoy translating?
Some of the servant scenarios that we had fun at translating.
I would say for me the most fun I had is the exchange between Kiara and Kama at the end of Oku, where she's just stomping all over her and rubbing her face in. The failure was just loved it.
For me, it was also related to, check it out, and, her, that was fun. There are others that are also fun, like, more emotionally fun, like certain, scenes that are, really quite moving. You know what we're talking about.
So yeah, no spoilers. But well, why are you looking at me like that?
You were here too?
Oh, okay. So I mean, there's so many though. Personally, so for Osakabe Hime, there was the original Osakabe Hime, and then there's the gamer version. So we had a lot. So original Osaka Hime, we already talked about this in like a couple conventions before, where they sent me the file to prove it. At first I yelled, "God damn it, what are you guys doing?" And then 3 minutes later, I'm giggling.
No.
Yes. You know, especially when we're combining a lot of the Japanese and English together.
Oh.
You know, yoroshiku onegai kura please. So, sumimasori, sorimasen.
Sumimasori.
Oh, sorimasen.
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 Yeah, it makes sense.
And then, so when the summer version came out and we were talking about how to do that, instead of going the kind of the weeb route, we went the gamer route. So we also included a lot of gamer talk into that.
Oh no.
I know they had a lot of fun writing it, and then I went, "God damn it!" again at the same time. So yeah, I mean, some people might argue we had way too much fun with that.
I always feel good about our translations when Albert is in his corner going, "God damn it!"
So yeah, we had a lot of fun translating those.
Okay. I have one more question about scenarios.
Scenarios.
Yes. Chapter number 11. Do you have the different of translating the stories?
Translating. If we're talking about like story overall.
Yes.
Story overall, if we're just not looking at servant, for me personally, Olympus is we have Olympus. We have a lot of kind of different experience, and we spend a lot of time working on it. Especially Olympus, you find out a lot more about Kirisaria and what his background was like and that story. So you know, you went from knowing him that as the leader of Team A and Cryptors, and he went from, you know, this very serious guy to, you know, lying in the middle of the garden passing out. And then also we find out a lot about his story in the back, like his background, what happened to his past, and what he really wants to do. And for that, you know, for both me and Jeremy, like, we're crying as we're going through it. We already suffered this once in JP. Why are we doing this again?
I'm having problems reading my computer screen. Give me a second.
Okay. So we had a lot of fun working on those. Michael, do you have some experience working on those?
You know, since you said Olympus, I guess I'm gonna actually say Atlantis. Greek myth was like my big thing in graduate school, so getting to work on that in this capacity was really amazing. And also, like, without getting into real specifics, like the beginning of Atlantis is so incredibly intense, and just like the way that the dialogue was structured was a lot of fun to work on, especially because the dialogue does this really good job of painting this really dire picture and keeping you involved in what is just so crazy and all these things happening. So that was a tremendous amount of fun to translate and like cut the dialogue down so that it sounded like people who are professionals absolutely losing their minds with just, what are we dealing with? This is so far beyond us. Oh my God. So that was a lot of fun. And then just working with all of these figures in Greek myth was like, that I have just textbooks and like the Odyssey, the Iliad, the Metamorphoses and all these stuff like piled on my desk as we were working through Atlantis and Olympus. So it was a lot of fun.
日本の開発の時、アトランティスなんですけど、マンドリカルドいますね。I like him, but 開発の一番最初にシナリオを読んだ時っていうののマンドリカルドのイメージと、最終的に僕らがアドベンチャーパート、トークパートで表現した後のユーザーの反応っていうのはもう全く違ったんですよ。
During the beginning of our development in Atlantis, we had the production team when we were reading the scenario part and the story part of Atlantis. The thing
本とは違うっていうのはどういう意味で違うの？
一番最初にシナリオを読んだ時っていうのは、どういう風に表現しようか一番悩んだサーバントだったんですよ。やっぱりちょっとこうネガティブで、ただマスターに対してのその思いとかあるんだけども、どこまでそのポジティブに伝えていけるかっていうところをすごく悩んで作った表現したサーバント。
The first time in the scenarios for Mandraparo, it's how it was very hard for us to determine how we were going to express how he was or define him as a servant. He is, kind of a negative Nancy, but he does still have feelings toward Master, and so we were trying our very best, and it was very challenging for us to try to spin him on a more positive light for that servant.
ユーザーからはマイフレンド
So the users,
Yeah.
my friend.
So next, yeah.
それでも僕からするんですか？もう大丈夫ですか？
します？
Is that all?
Okay.
じゃあ僕から質問もします。
Then here's the question.
I mean, or like, so there's some questions that we actually, because we don't have a lot of chance to actually talk directly to development team. So I actually have some questions regarding, from your perspective as a director for the Japanese version, kind of what do you think? So, for example, when it comes to localization, we for past 5 years, how we localize FGO. What do you think is the one thing that really stand out for you when it comes to the localization of Fake Grand Border?
Yeah. Where do I start? Yeah, it's hard to pick one, but as you know, Natsukinoko is good with words and use unique expressions. So it's difficult to translate it to English. But we want to make sure that we maintain the original meanings. So we sometimes don't translate it to English. So we just use Japanese expressions.
Yeah, so do you have like examples that some of the localization that we've done, that we kept it in Japanese, and that you feel like, oh, that was a good thing to do?
Yes. Probably many of users knows about
Umu.
Yeah, we have various reactions to release it. So we are concerned about that. What we should. So after releasing, we changed it. That expressions.
So at the beginning, like we only mentioned this a few times, but at the beginning when we were working with the development team on translating that, our original submission for Umu was just changing into like your regularly pondering expression, like that kind of stuff, because that would be how you normally would have localized that. But then we got a lot of reaction, actually not just from the players, but we have weekly meetings with the development team as well, and we talk about, should we actually change that to Umu, like what Nero actually says a lot, like what Kanou-san said, like the end decision was that it will probably be better and kept the characteristic of Nero if we have it remain as Umu rather than translating it to your usual expression like that kind of stuff.
そうですね。Yes, that's right.
Especially 那須さんの言葉なんていうか結構難しい言葉を使っている。そう日本語だけでも難しいのに、 So like a lot of the expressions that the writers use, Natsu-san use, a lot of those expressions are actually very difficult to interpret in Japanese already. Then we have to figure it out what it. So rather than we already know what it means in Japanese, and then we change it to English. First, we have to spend time to figure it out what the writers were talking about in Japanese first, and then we have to change it to English. So a lot of times we would even like send messages to development team. これちょっと待って、これライターさんにちょっと確認してもらえますね。何を言っているかごめんなさい、ちょうどわからないんで。
Yes.
Do you guys have like
messages to them, to the development team saying, hey, what does this mean? Can you get back to us on what this means?
Michael and Jeremy, do you guys have like something like that when you guys were editing and going through that you had like some like have questions, like even trying to figure it out what it was like, what the I guess the story was trying to say?
Well, you know, I think one of the big things that came up for us at one point, there was some confusion in Lost Belt 4 surrounding, I don't want to get into spoilers, but like surrounding a major piece of setting and scenery. And we were trying to figure out like what's going on with this thing? What are we actually dealing with here? And like the way it was described when translated into English didn't quite help. So the way that this goes with us is first we go, Monica, what does this mean? And then she will explain, and then we'll do our like staring stupidly here and being, what? And then after 20 minutes of conversation, we'll go, Albert! And then we do the same conversation, and then finally, if we get to the point where Albert is just going, I have no clue, then we start sending out those emails to the development team going, oh, please help us, we have no idea what's going on, and we do not want to look stupid in front of all of you. Which I guess we just did, so, you know.
Especially, I think, over the years, we've gotten a lot more close with the development team. こうして加納さんと喋れるのも結構大変ありがたい。
Yeah, そうですね。
と思うし、and it's like a rare chance really for us to have conversation here like this. So, 今後もね、もしわからないことがあったら加納さん助けてください。
Yes, yes, please send me the email.
I will start sending you email actually right after this. I have one question. Yeah, about our upcoming scenarios.
Okay.
So actually, we have another question that we want to ask. Is that a lot of you guys know, if you play English version, that throughout the year we have some, in a way, exclusive events that we do for the English version. So let's say, for example, the Advent calendar we do every December. The Thanksgiving event we do every year. So even online, we start doing more original promotional stuff. So let's say, for example, Caldea Break Room, where we show some of like information that even Japanese players were like, whoa, what did you just put out? So I want to ask Kanou-san that, what do you think about these exclusive events that we do in America? And actually, did these things that we've done here for the English version actually give you inspiration for something that you implemented for the Japanese version?
Yes. Albert said in the English version there are some original campaigns like Thanksgiving campaign or Advent calendar campaign that based on local culture. So we wanted to make the original campaigns that are based on Japanese culture. These campaigns inspired us to make the spring campaign. In Japan, the spring symbolizes the start of something new. We usually start a lot of things in spring. So we wanted to we want all users, many users to start playing FGO in spring. So we make it.
So it's actually great to hear that, because actually a lot of the events that we're doing, sometimes we reference what Japan has already done. It's just because for a lot of stuff, if you're already 2 years behind, everyone here is like clairvoyant EX.
Ah, yes.
They already know what's coming. Some of us like, I see this guy kind of laughing weirdly. It's like, you already know. So, so we actually referenced a lot of stuff that Japan has done, and we were thinking, is there a way that we can do it here in America, but differently, or differently for the English version? How do we create something that can give players the same impact and like element of surprise? Because a lot of time I feel like for Japan, when you guys are planning events, does that like element of surprise and impact is like important when it comes to promoting events in Japan?実はアメリカこういう独自の施策をやるときに結構日本今までやってきたものを参考して、ある形に変えてしたんですよ、でもやっぱりそれをしたいのはどういうことをやるとこの英語版のユーザーにインパクトを与える、
考えながら
やっているので、日本語版は、新しいイベントとか発表あった時にはどういう考え方を持ってそれを企画してプレーニングしてるんですか？
ああ、なるほど。全てはサーバントもしくはシナリオがどれだけユーザーに適切に伝わるかっていうのを逆算して考えてます。
We look at the servants or the scenarios, and when they get converted, we always think, how will they resonate with the players? Back on that.
それはそのサーバントそれぞれだったりシナリオだったりに合わせて出し方をちょっとずつ考えてたり、細かいところで言うとその生放送の順番とか見せ方とかスライダーの作り方っていうのも細かくリファインしている。
それはこれから出しているものに合わせて調整する、逆ではない。So a lot of times what Japan was doing that they look at the content that's going to be released, they look at the servant that's going to be released, and then they base their promotion, they base on how to express, how to show them to to the users, and then they come up with a campaign, they come up with, let's say, broadcasting, they come up with a promotion matching and be consistent with the lore and the characteristic of the event and servant. それは本当に嬉しい情報です。ありがとうございます。
Something that we always look forward to.
So unfortunately, we're running out of time. For this, Kanou-san, do you have some closing comments to everyone here?
Is it already that time?
It's already that time, I know. We're having fun. Time goes really fast.
I lost track of the time talking about FGO. But we are going to share a lot more. So if you want to know more, please at the panel stage. So please join us there or watch the streaming. Thank you.
Thank you. A round of applause for Kanou-san. Yes, if you can make it to the panel, please make it to the panel. If not, you can watch it on the stream. We're not gonna tell you what it is right now, but I guarantee you want to know what's from the panel, and stay till the very, very end. I'm going to tell you this right now. Don't leave the panel early. Don't close the browser early. Until I tell you to go, don't go, or else you're going to regret. Alright? I'm not gonna tell you any more than that. So, we'll see you at 3 p.m. Thank you for coming. Again, a round of applause for Kanou-san. able to talking to you guys, and hope I will see you guys later today. All right.
Alright.
Oh, yes, picture. So we do want to take a picture with
picture.
everybody here.
This way? Please. Move.
Up here, let's go. Come on. Back in.
Okay, we'll kneel down.